when I say that there are forms of dialogue, and as Irfan was highlighting, is it like form and content, something like that? So yeah, it is about form and content. So for example, there is a very interesting in um, in in which uh, a young student is being asked whether you know Pythagoras theorem or not. So this young student is a servant, young boy who has never gone to a school. So he says, no, I don't know. And in this dialogue, slowly and gradually, this young boy, Mino, is brought to the idea and the realization that no, you know Pythagoras theorem. And this process is happening very logically. So let me keep Mino aside for some time. Say I ask someone, do you know about dialogue? You may say, no, yeah, maybe a little bit. And then I would ask, okay, what do you understand by the word dialogue in general? You may say something. Come on, a participant, anyone, someone who thinks he doesn't know about dialogue.
Dialogue is a conversation between
Okay.
two persons.
Very great. So, Wazir, if dialogue is conversation, then what is the difference between dialogue and conversation? They can't be the same.
Okay.
Try.
Yes, dialogue is to make things clear about each other.
Mm-hmm. But that a conversation can also do.
Yep.
Someone else can also join in. Anyone? What do you think is the difference between conversation and dialogue?
I think dialogue means the
I can't hear you. Someone tried saying something.
I think we can just go one by one and see what each of the students feel is the difference between dialogue and conversation. I think that will be a really interesting.
You may raise your hands and then Ali, I can ask you one by one. But I don't need responses from everyone. I just want to cull out the understanding from what you are saying and then tell you what did we do. Yeah.
Maybe in dialogue there is an inherent thing about progress, like making a progress. There is a dialectics involved, whereas in a conversation it can be just everyday thing. There is something about progress in dialogue. We learn by speaking, even if it is with ourselves.
Very interesting, Imran. Then can we have dialogue with animals ever?
Well, they don't have language, but they don't have a spoken language. But the language maybe they have.
But then there won't be a progress, the notion of progress. There won't be a dialectic.
Yeah, there won't be that.
Yeah. And also this brings in another new element, dialectic. So let's leave that aside. What is the difference between, again, dialogue and conversation? Is every conversation dialogue or is every dialogue conversation? Think, anyone?
I see both of they are synonymous.
Okay. So you and I, if we are conversing, does that mean that we are having dialogue?
Yeah, it's a dialogue.
So there is
we can converse about anything.
Yeah. So there is a thinker who differentiates between a dialogue and a duologue. He would say that this is a duologue at the most right now, where there are two people talking to each other. So yes, it's a conversation, but it may not necessarily be a dialogue.
That's a very interesting take, Dr. Baniwal. But Ayanda would like to add something to this. dialogue?
Thank you. I think it differs with the context. These terms, they are actually used interchangeably. The one of dialogue, I think it becomes appropriate when we are actually discussing a certain concept, whereas a conversation, then it's where we share ideas about a particular matter.
You have taken us out of one situation and put in another. If you have
Hello?
you have tried to clarify discussion and dialogue, but took us to discussion. So conversation, now we have three concepts: conversations, discussions, and dialogue. And Imran took us to the
I
fourth.
would say dialogue. Yeah, I would say dialogue is a conversation with people, with at least two or more people, on a particular issue to get a better understanding of what is being discussed or about each other.
But that's also discussion.
Okay.
Okay, so let me leave you with this confusion, and I will come back to it at the end of the session.